All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Mine by Robert McCammon. This is a horror novel that came out in 1990. Now, Robert McCammon is one of my favorite novelists of all time. I've read all of his stuff. We're rereading and reviewing for the channel everything, and so we'll eventually get a review of every Robert McCammon book up here. Now, I have met Robert McCammon a couple of times, and he has signed all of my books. You know, I love showing off my signed book collection, you know. We've got all of these. Let's see here. Plus, I've got my entire, we'll pan through the library here, and I'll show you all of my Robert McCammon books are up there on that top shelf right there. Anyway, needless to say, I'm a big fan. Let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. I actually really like this cover quite a bit. It's just got that, I mean, it came out in 1990. It looks like a horror novel that came out in 1990. That's great. I like that it's creative. It's got this eyeball in there, painted by, you know, the cover art, whoever did the cover art was not credited in the book anywhere, so I don't know who the artist is. But I will say, when I started this book, it opened up with one of the most, I will just say, chilling, worst, horrific first 10 pages I've ever read in a book. Violence, mega violence, grotesque violence, horror novel violence, dialed up to 11. I was just like, I didn't even remember. I mean, I've read this before. This is my second reading, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. But this is horrific. I was shocked. In reality, I was shocked. And horror novels usually don't. But anyway, I'll let you figure that out for yourself and see how that ends, the first 10 pages. But it's about a crazed woman in her 40s and a crying baby. That's what the first 10 pages are about. There's this woman, there's a crying baby. I won't tell you what happens after that. But her name is Mary Terrell, or as she's known in this book, Mary Terror. She's tall. She's like over 6 feet. She's heavy. She's like over 200 pounds. She's the scarred survivor of the radical 1960s. Remember, this is from 1990. So, you know, God, how long ago was that? 90? That's like 40 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. I'm so old. So old. Anyway, Mary Terror was once a member of the fanatical, hippie, you know, liberal group of, you know, hey, we're going to fight against the man. And the group was called the Stormfront Brigade. Yeah, and it just caused havoc in her life. And now she's older. The 60s are over. It's 1990. She lives in a hallucinatory world of murderous memories, guns and rage, and just, you know, all the stuff that came with that whole Charles Manson-esque era of hippie and, you know, rage. So that's what she's living in. Then we've got the second character named Laura Clayborn, and she's a successful journalist. She's married to a very rich man. You know, they've got the BMW, the big house with the white picket fence. Everything's rosy in Mary and Laura Clayborn's life, except for her marriage is spiraling out of control. And she thinks that what will save the marriage is her pregnancy. Her new baby is on the way, and that will fix the relationship, which, as we know, in a strained relationship, bringing a child into that relationship always fixes everything. It just does. I mean, it's the ultimate fix. Said no one ever, except for this girl, Laura Clayborn, who thinks it's going to happen. She hopes her newborn son will be the answer, and her marriage will survive. Well, Mary Terror a crazy 60s hippie lady, she steals the baby. Kind of like the movie Raising Arizona, if you ever watched that. It's literally like that. It's like she steals the baby because she wants a baby. And as soon as she gets the baby, she loves the baby. I love it so much. I don't know, Raising Arizona is one of the most hilarious movies ever. When they steal the baby, I know it's a horrific thing to steal a baby. Unless it's in the movie Raising Arizona. And then it's as hell. Funny as hell. Anyway, then that starts a journey, a quest to save the baby. Where's the baby gone to? Let's save it. So Laura launches off on a quest through an America, a landscape of the broken, the beaten, and the damned. That's where she goes into this quest to save the baby. And it's a land full of misfits, seedy motels, 60s hippies resurrected from the past, and wandering idiots, and the FBI. There's this FBI agent who's also part of this story. He was once in the FBI. Let's call him an ex-FBI agent. And for personal vengeance and personal reasons, he is involved in finding this baby, and to get back at, to get her baby back, to get the baby, to find the baby, Laura Clayborn must become, or, I'm not going to say it's spoilery, will Laura become as ruthless and grotesque and sick and heartless and murderous as Mary Terror, the person that stole her baby? And that's the question. But basically, watch Raising Arizona. Or read this book. I like both for different reasons. This book has got some bloody, horrific, shocking scenes, especially in the first 10 pages, like I said. This is a great horror novel. This is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's just absolutely fantastic. Robert McCammon does a great job every time. That's my review.